Hello, Mason Storm here. Today we're going to be doing a paleo meal that I found incredibly enjoyable. I call it by its ingredients and flavor text as lemon saffron thunder thighs. To begin with, I have half a teaspoon of saffron, 1 teaspoon of chipotle powder, 2 cloves of crushed garlic, and a couple tablespoons of oil. I have some onions that I chunked up, some vegetable broth, chicken thighs, and lemon that I just sliced up. And I got some green beans. Okay, to initiate our process, I got my broth. Gonna put the saffron in, give it a little bit of a mix around, and let that sit aside, and we'll just flavor that. Get the big skillet on the stove. We're gonna go for a nice high heat, and we're going to add in our oil at this point in time. And our goal here is we're gonna cook down our chicken thighs a little bit, see if we can get some color on them. Ideally you'd want to have chicken thighs with skin on them, but my store didn't really have skin, so I'm doing the best I can with what I was able to get, and let's get some color on those. Just get it nice and warm, do a little bit of frying, and Bob is your uncle, or in my case, Grandpa. And once you're satisfied with your color amount, or if you get tired or bored, add in your onions and your lemon. You probably could have got more color than I did on mine here. Probably a little bit more searing marks or whatever, but I was running out of patience at the time and it wasn't mission critical. So now we're going to add in our broth as well as our, well, I guess a little bit more broth yet, because we didn't have quite enough. We want not submersion, but most of the way up on the meat. And then we add in our spices and garlic and fabulous stuff like that. And now we're just going to wait for it to heat up until it gets to a boil, which could take a little bit. And the second we get to our boil, we're going to reduce our temperature and we're going to let this kind of simmer away. You might have to play around with the temperature a little bit. You don't want a crazy hard boil. You want like a medium gentle simmer, so not quite a full-blown boil and not nothing, somewhere in between. And we're just going to cook it like that till about half of our juices are gone. This lets the meat get nice and tender. Slow cooking meat really is fantastic. So after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour or so, we're going to add our green beans in. And we're just going to continue to cook this till our juices are gone or mostly gone. And that should give us green beans that are cooked, but not like soggy, mash, overcooked vegetables, because that's kind of gross. And then we have our perfect combination of greens with meat and tasty broth. Although the broth evaporates, so it's not really that significant, but otherwise it's fantastic and delicious, which is great. So we'll just let that cook for another 20 minutes or so. And before you know it, it'll be ready. Or at least mostly ready, or however long you can bear. I was getting a little bit hungry at this point in time. So I began plating it out on plates for consumption. And I left what was left on the stove to get rid of that last little bit of the excess moisture. And I probably would have been better off with less thighs than I had, because the ratio of beans to thighs wasn't ideal, so I had a bunch more thighs left over, which were really good to have the next day. But oh, is this tasty. And the onions too, you got to make sure you get some of those onions, because there's just so much flavor in them. They're just fantastic. That saffron onion mixture is just unbelievable. And there you have it. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of my thunder thighs, and if you'd try making them, and if you did try them, let me know what your thoughts are on that as well. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome. Oh, and the sauce that I had with them was mushroom ketchup, and I'm looking to make another version of that shortly, so stay tuned.